Hello there, you're watching our television. This is State of Business. I'm Pamutha Katukampala. We know headlines. Domestic truth-seeking mechanism. Foreign Minister refreshes the memory on much-talked solution again. We're ready to support Sri Lanka, World Bank reaffirms. Welcome back. Now let's have a detailed look at today's stories. Now, Foreign Minister Ali Sabri emphasised the importance of a domestic truth-seeking mechanism as an accountability process in line with the President's vision. He sought technical support from South Africa and all other representatives at a discussion held with the foreign missions recently.
Thirdly, one of the most important which I thought I must talk to you is regarding our effort to establish a domestic truth-seeking mechanism as an accountability process for which had happened for a long period of time. I'm glad the South African High Commissioner is here. I must thank the government of South Africa, President, Honourable Minister of Foreign Affairs, and the High Commissioner for facilitating a very important visit for us. Not that we are going to replicate what South Africa has done, but we are going to learn from the experience, and we are looking forward to work with them as somebody who could provide us a necessary technical support. And we are open to technical support from all the others.
Meanwhile, the IMF's Extended Fund Facility Programme, which has been already presented to the Parliament, will be up for discussion from the 25th of this month. Now, this was announced during a discussion with ambassadors and high commissioners of foreign missions recently. During the meeting, President's Chief of Staff Sakala Ratnayake said that the IMF's Extended Fund Facility Programme is based on advancing revenue-based fiscal consolidation, which includes tax policy measures. He said that the core public financial management function is being strengthened under the IMF programme. He mentioned that the Asian Development Bank and World Bank are part of the structural reform programme and compensate for the strength of some measures in the IMF programme. Furthermore, he said that a new public debt management law will be introduced covering various areas, including ones that are currently not covered by law. This law is to be introduced by the third quarter of 2024. He went on to say that in the fourth quarter of this year, the Unified Investment Law will be released, and protecting the poor and vulnerable is also a key area of focus. Regulations for a new welfare benefit payment scheme will be adopted by the Cabinet, and payments to beneficiaries are scheduled to start by the 1st of June. Foreign Minister Ali Sabri said that the government established a Cabinet subcommittee on national reconciliation to consolidate 3 areas for the final push towards reconciliation, them being the implementation of the 13th Amendment, taking executive actions regarding the Prevention of Terrorism Act, and the establishment of a domestic truth-seeking mechanism. Addressing the UN's Secretary to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Aruni Vijayawardena said that Sri Lanka is committed to making progress on the recommendations and engaging in constructive interaction to move forward with economic recovery and reconciliation in the country. Now, World Bank Managing Director Operations Anna Biyarde reaffirms commitment to support Sri Lanka after a session with Sri Lankan delegation at the ongoing IMF spring meetings. She took to Twitter to express this recently after meeting the delegation in Washington, D.C. State Minister Shehan Semaising has also recently appreciated the continued support of the World Bank to strengthen the social safety nets and economic stabilization of Sri Lanka at the IMF World Bank spring meetings in Washington, D.C., USA. In response, the World Bank has reaffirmed its commitment to assisting Sri Lanka in stabilizing the economy, stepping up social protection and reviving growth. Taking to Twitter, the World Bank Managing Director Operations Anna Biyarde noted that she had a discussion with the State Finance Minister Shehan Semaising, Treasury Secretary Mahinda Siriwardena, and Central Bank Governor Dr. Landalal Veerasinghe on the sidelines of the spring meetings of the International Monetary Fund and the World Bank Group. She said they discussed how the World Bank can support Sri Lanka as it implements economic stabilization, steps up social protection and revives growth. The state minister-led Sri Lankan delegation is currently in the US to attend the spring meetings in Washington, D.C. The delegation also interacted with the World Bank team specializing in social safety net interventions, cash transfer programs and developing effective delivery systems. State Minister Sema Singh also met with the IMF Executive Director Dr. Krishnamurthy Subramanian to discuss Sri Lanka's ambitious reform agenda and its commitment to successfully completing the IMF program. He said that the participation was a great opportunity for Sri Lanka to enhance cooperation with international partners of Sri Lanka to ensure debt sustainability and to further the progress the country has made towards economic recovery. See you soon with more stories after this short commercial break. Welcome back, you're watching State of Business. Now, the Sri Lankan government has filed a reply denying the claims by Hamilton Reserve Bank on breach of contract filed on behalf of some international sovereign bondholders. The Minister of Finance said that the US court is set to take up the matter on the 20th of this month. Issuing an update on the US court case between Hamilton Reserve Bank and the Sri Lanka government, the finance ministry said the US District Court for the Southern District of New York denied Sri Lanka's motion to dismiss the amended complaint in Hamilton Reserve Bank Limited versus the Democratic Socialist Republic of Sri Lanka. Plaintiff Hamilton Reserve Bank had commenced the action on 21st June 2022, initially seeking damages for alleged non-payment of bonds as well as injunctive relief based on the alleged violation of a pari passu clause in the relevant indenture. Plaintiff Hamilton Reserve Bank had commenced the action on 21st June 2022, initially seeking damages for alleged non-payment of bonds as well as injunctive relief based on the alleged violation of a pari passu clause in the relevant indenture. The finance minister said following Sri Lanka's motion to dismiss that initial complaint, plaintiff filed an amended complaint on 13th October 2022, which dropped the pari passu claims and asserted a single claim for non-payment. On 4th November 2022, Sri Lanka filed a motion to dismiss the amended complaint, which the court denied on the 24th of March 2023. The statement added that as a result of the court's decision to deny Sri Lanka's motion to dismiss, the case continues and there has been no judgment on the merits of the claim. According to the statement on the 7th of April 2023, Sri Lanka filed an answer in which Sri Lanka denied liability on plaintiff's claim. It further mentioned that the court has set a status conference for 20th April 2023 and Sri Lanka looks forward to discussing the case with the court on that date. The statement ends saying that the ministry cannot comment any further on the situation as it is an ongoing case. Meanwhile, Sri Lanka Shippers Council issued a detailed statement refuting misinformation as well as raising concerns over the government's decision to amend some rules and regulations via a Gazette notification. The Sri Lanka Shippers Council is an umbrella organization of 17 associations representing exporters and importers. In a statement, it is said that the import and export sector of Sri Lanka have been seriously affected by the recent action by the Minister of Ports and Shipping by introducing and implementing the Gazette number 2321/62. It emphasizes that the annulments of the previously implemented Gazette number 2041/10 has created a ripple effect which will result in Sri Lanka's imports and exports becoming costlier and uncompetitive. The reason given is the unethical surcharges which will be levied and which will lead to the loss of the country's market share in the global market. It was also mentioned that the information contained in a media article alluding to a leakage of foreign currency is a gross misinterpretation of the facts. It said that the very fact that transportation costs are not being negotiated in the all-inclusive freight rate after rescinding the Gazette results in the inability for the users to negotiate and benefit from the best price. It was emphasized that costs will increase for all importers, but those serving the domestic market will pass them on to the consumer. And those importing for value addition and re-export will only make exports less competitive at a time when an export-driven economy is a key component for the recovery of the economy. It said with the IMF requirement for the government to raise the GDP over the next few years and with the increase of foreign direct investments into the country, this will be a severe impact when future and current investors cannot identify fixed logistics costs. According to the Shippers Council, this will immediately make Sri Lanka competitive for foreign direct investment as well. Now, the Federation of University Teachers Associations temporarily suspends its strike action and engaged in teaching at the universities today. The Federation has come to this decision after a special meeting of its representatives and Education Minister officials. The decision has been made after the Minister of Education, Susil Premadanda, promised to address Federation's concerns. It was mentioned that the government's progress will be continuously monitored and the strike will resume if the promises are not fulfilled within a reasonable time frame. A statement issued by the Federation said that they lengthily discussed over the recent correspondence with the chairman of the University Grants Commission, Professor Sampath Amaratunga, Education Minister and other high-ranking officials, and ruled that the government has not taken sufficient action to address Federation's primary concerns. However, the statement also said that they would further refrain from the GC advanced level evaluation process until a satisfactory conclusion is provided by the authorities. The Federation recognizes the Minister of Education's initial dedication, but believes that the support of other government officials is needed to successfully implement the proposed changes. The Federation of University Teachers Association stresses that the employees should be allowed to organize into unions and begin collectively, and the government should honor their rights. Furthermore, it is mentioned that the Federation advocates for a space where all people feel comfortable sharing their ideas without fear of retaliation. Stay tuned, we'll be right back with the stock update. Welcome back, you're watching State of Business. Now the stock update. Trading at Colombo Stock Exchange ended on mixed notes today. The All-Share Price Index dropped 9.38 points to close at 9,405.90, and the S&P SL 20 gained 13.65 points to close at 2,767.88. The turnover was 1.2 billion rupees and over 46 million shares were traded. Coming up next are Forex rates. Well, that's a wrap from today's edition of State of Business. For this and more, subscribe to our channel on YouTube and follow us on Facebook. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.
state of business